Right, you're watching part 2 of my UGC official review. This is Gangnam versus Critoveds. It's part 2. The score is already 3-1 to their team, so we're doing pretty badly. This match ends as soon as someone... It's a first to 4, so they only need one more round in order to win this, whereas we need to get 3. So the pressure's on us right now. At the end of the last video I said that we were going to try crits, and that's why I had the view model toggled on just at the beginning, just to make sure it was. We see the spy and he gets pulled really quickly, and we're just happy to take him out. I decided that, given the choice between sticking with our Pyro and going with our Demo Man, I decided to just hang around with Kitana.
We have secured the control point.
We're using crits and he's going to be the main target for it, and we actually run this quite a lot together, quite used to it. So we decided to hang out with it. I always make sure to pull him at 85%, and he knows. See, he just like stopped to reload his stickies. So we're just happy to go out and see who we can find. Fortunately, it's nobody, and I stand around on the point like a bit of an idiot. And here we are with another pause. And this is quite irritating, to be honest, because their Demo Man is AFK, but the round has just started. It's been 22 seconds of capture in the first round, and in that case, why ready up? I mean, as far as the UGC rules go, as soon as you team readies up, then you're prepared. You're okay with the server, you're okay with the mercs on their team, and you're basically saying that all nine of your players are ready and able to play. And using up your 1 pause and a half for something like that is a little bit... It's a bit wasteful. But either way, we're fine with it. We're sitting with crits. I'm probably visible from their team, so jumping about on the point was a little bit silly. But still, we know that we've got the crits. We know that we're ready to push. Got Polar Bear being classy in the chat, as ever. Damn it, Polar. Yeah, we're still just happy to run around. It's only respectful to actually let them have the pause, even if it is for a reason. We're also using this opportunity to just kind of talk about what we can see. We can see our heavy, can see our blue dispenser, and that's pretty much it. Oh, if you're wondering what the SM source mod little notification is, I have something in my config, which means every time I check the scoreboard it tells me how much time is left. And in this case it's when the team wins 3 rounds, or 1 round in for their case. We pop the crits, and I say quite a distance back, at least at the very start. The medigun beam is actually quite long. You don't need to be standing next to the guy that you're healing, and you can just sit from a distance away, and they then pop their own crits in return. And I don't know why I go back in here, to be honest. It's like, yeah, I get to see the pretty firework, but I'm also walking about my own. And then I pay the price for that. I should not have been walking around unprotected there. But then again, I didn't know what was going on. That was just a communication error. But we are starting to work better. We've had that successful crits. Communication's looking up on our team compared to the first half. And everything's going a bit better. Fortunately, I've gotten in to realise that my Pyro's wandered off and my soldier has jumped, so I immediately just fall back. I probably shouldn't have gone out there, but I did as soon as I noticed. In this case, there's another big misplay. Having looked back on the demo, I can see the crits, but that wasn't called. I mean, our soldier was right there in the thick of it, and we didn't know. If it had been called, neither me or our Demo Man would have walked out there. We would have just hung back, built up our own crits, and then pushed out already. The solution to the crits is either back out or just kill them. Still, we're starting to move more as a combo now. We've got a heavy, a Demo Man, a Pyro. Just moving together, pushing as the unit. This combo actually works so well together. It is the cookie cutter in Highlander. And for a huge reason. See, even though the guys on the point are just fighting it out, I'm just happy to sit around in our yard, just hitting anybody who I can get my medium on. There's no reason for me to go up there. This is quite interesting. The Doman's not around, so I'm going to put the soldier. Unfortunately, he doesn't have the height advantage, and he's just shooting the stairs. So I put the crits onto our pyro, who is in a better position. Even though he doesn't have the extra range of the soldier, he's quite limited by how far his flag on him, his flamethrower. He can create a lot of space on the point. If you see crit flames, you're just going to want to get out of there. And he buys the time for our soldier to come out and get up on top of the point, get ready, and then I transfer the crits back to him, and he manages to get 2 kills. Well done, Roosty, you did the spread. We're actually getting a little bit too aggressive there. We called out the easy spy, but we're kind of getting a little bit cocky here. But we're just happy to be able to push an advantage. And we also heard that kind of weird wispy sound, the medic scream. The medic just dropped over, all crits. Unfortunately, their sniper just immediately equalizes, which means I should not have been standing around on the point, especially so soon after a medpick, because they will be looking to equalize the advantage.
Mission ends in 60 seconds.
Unfortunately, nobody else on my team actually dies, which means that I get to spawn all by myself. I'm not building crits, so I'm just eager to call out that I'm coming through the telly, and I get a pyro to meet me.
Mission ends in 30 seconds.
So our team is playing much better this round so far. We're a lot more coordinated. This round is taking place on our server, which is based in London as opposed to being based in Russia. Well, that has to be said that their team had better ping on our server than we had on theirs. But it's still in the interest of fairness.
Mission ends in 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And then we've got to do the taunt to create the cap on the point, because everyone does it. Go for a rollout again, and we find out that their med has disappeared off the face of the planet. I don't know what he means by turning the tournament mode off. That's what I've never heard of. But he says it doesn't matter. So, although their team have already used their pause, we probably would have given them an extra one, seeing as it's missing a medic. But see, if you use your pause on something ridiculous 30 seconds in, then you can't. You're not obligated one when something important happens later. Even though most teams will give it to you. There's no point in being a dickhead over it. And we're just doing the same normal boring medic, stay alive, stay in the yard, there's no reason to go out there. And find our demo man. And we're getting ready to just smash it up. Fortunately, the only problem with crits is that there's no point popping it if you've already killed everybody on their team. But it is something that you don't want to hold on to forever. If you get jumped by a bombing soldier when you've got your overcharge, then you can pop the overcharge and you'll be safe. But with crit squeak, you've got no such deal. You have to play like a glass cannon, you have to avoid danger, and then you have to be ready to use it as soon as you get the chance. Because you only stand to lose by holding on to the crits.
Alert! The control point is being contested.
Again, I just sit down here. I heal the demo man when he goes out on the point, and I wait for his word to hit the button. Should do. I think we don't have the most successful crits. We don't have to jump off. So I just transfer the rest of the pyro. And he manages to hit somebody in the face. That demo miss looks really cool. We can see that our sniper just got a pick, so it's important for us to call him. Unfortunately, he does manage to counter snipe our own sniper, which means that we just ended up sending Scout, Spy, those kind of classes to go and deal with him. He's also just picked our mini sentry, which makes us sad. Their sniper actually really picks up the game during this place. And you can see there in the kill feed, our Scout has just killed their sniper. heavy's just gone down to a flank. And we're expecting a big push.
Mission ends in 60 seconds.
Also, one of the best things about playing medic is the dominations you get. Because you did absolutely nothing to deserve them unless you're uber sorting or something like that. Then we get the crits, and we're just looking for an excuse to use it. Unfortunately, I don't really want to pop it on this scout, especially when I have not just a demo man offering stickers all around me, but I also have a mini sentry just doing constant damage. Here's another case where I'm feeling quite uncomfortable, and I'm just happy for the chance to go back down.
We have captured the control point.
Fortunately, we only have to hold on to the point for another 50 seconds. Yeah, they're starting to get a little bit desperate. They only have 40 seconds. They have one decent chance to push now. And we have a crits waiting.
Mission ends in 30 seconds. Alert. The control point is being contested.
Yeah, go over there, and I give Kitana the crits. Just as the push comes in, and he manages to neutralise that. That was a great play from him.
3, 2, 1.
And here, I think even their scout is actually very good, and he's a major part of their team. But that was a bit of a misplay from him. And I said about the medic's life in the first video, I said the medic's life becomes less important towards the end of a round. There's a point where he's not going to be able to have another root up in time, or the other hills don't matter anymore. And it's like there. He spent the last like 10 seconds trying to kill me, but he could have just contested the point. He could have tried to block it, he could have tried to cap it. But he spent all this time chasing me instead. Which I'm completely fine with, because at the end of the day, a win is a win.
3, 2, 1. The point is now available for capture.
Fortunately, I did take a little bit of the spam there. Took a grenade to the face, but I managed to dodge that sticky, mostly. Fortunately, we do have a sandwich. And I'm not sure why I clicked away from Gangnam there, but I think someone got caught behind us and I panicked. However, I do feel he kind of overextended there, because when I looked over, he was surrounded by enemies. And I also overextend. Even if I had survived the full damage, even if full damage wasn't even in this game, I still would have died there. Just how weak I was. Medieval medic set's good, but it doesn't completely negate over it after that. Well done, Rooster. It is, on this map, Sniper is very, very powerful, and Soldier is one of the best classes to counter him, just because he can rocket jump up there. Even though we didn't manage to get the kill, we've been having trouble with that Sniper. He managed to get a few picks on us before, and he's been getting more and more aggressive during this half. So it is good that we managed to shut him down just for a little bit, even if we didn't get the kill. Our Spy manages to get a pick onto their down man, which we know is actually quite important on this team. We know that they always run crits, and you know, without the demo man, crits has become a lot less powerful. You can give them to the Soldier, who has a lot less ammo. He only has 4 rockets compared to 8 stickies. Or you can give them to the Heavy, who can deal an amazing amount of damage per second, but he can only really do it to one person at a time. He can't do the massive splash damage that a Soldier or Demo Man can. Also, another advantage that Demo Man have for crits is the ability to charge stickers. And you can hit a distance half the map away, which happens here. You can see that sticky goes absolutely flying for a massive distance, but he charged to go around the corner. Demo Man knew that that crit was going to happen, and so he started charging up his sticky before he even popped it on him, just before he walked around the corner. It was great communication from us there. We knew exactly where they were. We managed to do it. Unfortunately, I do die during the crits, but now we are going for a medpick there. We're getting more aggressive. Now Sniper again manages to essentially neutralise us. He gets 2 picks. This is silly from us because we know that Sniper's still up. We didn't manage to get him killed, and he immediately picks me again. There on it. Yeah, that completely neutralises exactly anything that we would have to do that. Spoo, who still hasn't fixed his microphone, says that we should regroup and do this properly, which we decided to do. Just happy to hang around here. Find out what's going on. I shouldn't have peeked. The soldier jumps to get some vision and then comes back down. And we're just happy to sort of hang about in this area. I hear Demo and Heavy. I can hear their medic calls. I can hear that they're on the flanks, and I was happy to meet them in the middle. But the sniper, yeah, again. Also takes down our soldier. And they pop over on the point. But in all honesty, them popping Uber actually plays into our hands, because I've just respawned. I would have respawned around about the same time that their Uber actually finished. And I'm running crits and they're running Uber. So that gives us an immediate advantage. There's one thing we can do quite well. It's these coordinated critzers. It's also quite nice being on our own server, because it means we don't have people complaining about the ping. You can see that the sniper's still up in the kill feed, so that's another reason why I don't want to go on the point again. I've been picked way too many times from their sniper, and I just don't want to give him any more chances.
Mission ends in 30 seconds.
Our Heavy gets the med pick, which makes us feel even more comfortable with using the crits. We know there's only 20 seconds to go, so we're just happy to sort of get any picks we can and neutralise any chance of them pushing. This is also the last round, which it's a very much an all or nothing situation, and if we can take an early advantage in this really important fight, then we're just happy to do that. Unfortunately we do lose it, but I managed to get out, and we had just over 2 minutes in order to recap this, which equates to 3 pushes really. Especially how I got out. If I died, we probably would have only had time for 2. The Kritzkrieg only takes 32 seconds to charge, but it can take a bit longer than that to get the pick that you need to go in, get your whole team together, and basically just have everything in position. Me getting out of there allowed us to do 3 pushes rather than 2. Fortunately, it doesn't even matter, and we managed to just easily retake the point. I just popped the taunt here because I know, we've only got 5 seconds left, I'm not going to get crits, it doesn't even matter that I do, and just put out some healing. That's the game. I think that's pretty much it. It ended up 4-3 to us. Bit of a shot comeback from 3-1 at the end of the first half, so I'm really happy with how that match went. That was UGC Euro Silver, and that was week 1 of season 9, Gangnam Style vs Critoveds. Thank you for watching. If you've got any suggestions, any kind of things that I should cover, then yeah, please feel free to just leave a comment. This has been my first video, so thank you for watching.